The case for Feedforward. Hello everyone. As you prepare to offer your impressions and suggestions on your peers' work, I'd like to introduce you to the concept of Feedforward to assist you in communicating your thoughts and ideas in a positive way. The difference between feedback and feedforward. We commonly use the term feedback to describe the input or opinion of another person. In this video, I would like to encourage you towards the lesser-known concept of feed-forward. Feed-forward is described by Goldsmith 2015 as future-focused. Goldsmith notes that feedback tends to focus on the past, on what has already happened. This, Goldsmith says, is the, quote, fundamental flaw, end quote, of feedback, that it is concerned with what cannot be changed. Because we cannot turn back time, Goldsmith encourages feed-forward, that is, concentrating on improvement for what happens next, when it can still make a positive difference in what will happen. This is a more optimistic way to learn from others based upon the idea that we can always do better in the future. So right now, you have your draft assignment before you. Perhaps you have done several versions, but you are still not done. Feedback or feed-forward is the necessary element of refinement. To make the most of feed-forward, consider the people giving you suggestions as collaborators in the improvements you want to make to your work. They are your feed-forward partners. Solutions, not criticism. With feed-forward, you are offering solutions, not criticism. The guiding question to answer is simply, how might this be better? Now here, I want to pause on that magic word, might. Berger, 2012, describes the advantage of asking questions such as, how might we improve this, as an open-minded approach that encourages creative solutions. Why is the word might so powerful? Berger, 2012, explains that it encourages possibilities. Instead of saying how someone should fix a problem or make an improvement, using the word might allows room for ideas that may not have been explored before. Berger cites a number of multinational corporations such as IDEO, Google, and Facebook that approach innovation with HMW or how might we questions. I believe that might is an important word in the peer review feed-forward process because it doesn't force or impose a solution on the receiver. Instead, it gives them the opportunity to listen and the autonomy to consider and decide what is best for their work. After all, they are the author and the one who will be evaluated for it. Hanine and Morissette, 2008, attest that, quote, actors and leaders cannot improve their craft simply by listening to experts and taking notes. They must experiment with behaviors, get feedback, integrate it, and try again. End quote. So I would encourage you to listen and take note of what is being offered to you by your feed-forward partners, and then apply what you feel is appropriate. Tinker with it, adjust with the genuine intention of improvement. The activity. Now for your feed-forward activity. I'm going to adapt Goldsmith's 2015 exercise here to coach you in how to work with your feed-forward partner. These are the steps I would like you to follow to try out the feed-forward process. In pairs or groups of 3, you will have the roles of receiver and partner, and you will switch these roles so that you can receive and offer feed-forward. The whole process should only take about 15 minutes for you to play both roles. The steps. First, begin with one partner asking the other person, the receiver, what they might like to change or improve in their work. At this stage, if you are working in groups of 3, one of you will be an observer. Next, the receiver answers the question, considering what they might improve or where they think the weak parts of their work are. Then, their partner will offer 2 suggestions that could be helpful. Spend only 4 or 5 minutes on this. If you are the receiver, say thank you. The receiver does not argue or question the feed-forward or need to explain their original approach. The receiver simply says, "Thank you." Then the partner says, "You are welcome." That's all, just "You are welcome." Next, switch so that the partner becomes the receiver becomes the partner, and repeat the exercise. If you are working in groups of 3, be sure each person takes a turn. As you prepare to begin this exercise, please keep these words of Goldsmith, 2015 in mind. Quote, "Feedforward is based on the assumption that the receiver of suggestions can make positive changes for the future." End quote. And remember, you don't need to be an expert in the other person. You just need to understand the work, the task, the assignment, and what is expected. From there, you are in a good position as a peer learner to provide feedforward. Again, feedforward is not criticism. Nobody likes negative feedback or to be criticized. With feedforward, you are just providing supportive ideas for the other's consideration. Whether or not we are talking about peer review in terms of feedforward or feedback, it is all meant to help you grow in your work. Author and researcher Brené Brown says that, quote, "Mastery requires feedback. I don't care what we're trying to master and whether we're trying to develop greatness or proficiency, it always requires feedback." End quote. In your studies and life, not everyone will be an expert in giving you their opinions and suggestions in ways that are kind, generous, and insightful. They may mean well, they may have good intentions, but perhaps they don't express themselves clearly or in a way that you like. Well, nobody's perfect. Perhaps they haven't ever taken a communications course like this one. So when this happens, I would suggest still to be understanding, forgiving even, and stay open to what is offered. When she is receiving feedback, Brown, 2018, reminds herself, quote, "There's something valuable here, there's something valuable here. Take what works and leave the rest." End quote. I wish you the very best in your peer review exchanges this week. As always, please connect with me on Teams or via email if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. Forward we go.